Izzy later on talking about, like, you know, I am enough, like Stacy, you know, any man, she can get an older 40-year-old man, and why she's still single. This is why she's still single and 33 and hasn't found love. Look at the way she is. Like, it's not all about having money and fancy flights and dinners. I don't care about that. I don't care about the car I drive and the clothes I wear and where I eat and all that. You know, I'm bringing you, you know, love and support and all that. And I was like, said the person who broke, okay? Said the person who broke. Get on out of here, Izzy. Anyway. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Brandy Yvonne channel. Of course, I'm your girl, Brandy Yvonne. Here on my channel, y'all already know we do fun reviews, recaps, and discussions of all of our favorite shows. This video, we are talking Netflix's Love is Blind. This is season 5. We're gonna cover episodes 8 through 10, so we're gonna go and get through the wedding day. My original plan was to do 8 and 9 at some point this week, but I decided, since 10 came on tonight or today or whatever, I went ahead and watched it, and I'm just gonna throw them all together because really, Netflix Love is Blind is giving nothing this season but drama. They are giving the drama, but there's no couples. There's no love. It's all blindness. Anyway, before we get into it though, please hit that thumbs up button. Also, please subscribe to the channel, y'all. I'm getting close to reaching these goals, so I need your help and support, okay? We're trying to hit these numbers. So I really would appreciate if y'all do hit that subscribe button for me. Hit it right now, okay? Hit it right now. Hit that thumbs up right now. Comment down below. Let me know what you thought of the wedding day decisions. Did you agree or disagree? Do you feel like everybody made the right choices? Let me know in the comments. Also, share the video where you like to share your videos. All right. Looks like the reunion comes out Sunday. So I should be able to do that Sunday. Yeah, because I'll be back Sunday morning. I'll be able to do that. So anywho, y'all, I told y'all before, my friend's getting married tomorrow. Plus I got an event tomorrow morning. So I've been running around like a crazy lady, but I'm making it. It's all good. It's all going to work out. Yeah. So what was I going to say? I think that was it. Yeah, so we're just gonna do Izzy and Stacy first and go through all 3 episodes to the wedding day. And then we'll do Milton and Lydia because it's only 2 couples, barely. It wasn't much to talk about, so we'll just, you know, we're gonna lump everything together. Okay, that's how we're gonna do it. All right, so just follow me, okay? So we pick up on episode 8 where we left off when everybody was down to the little party, okay? Because remember, everybody came down and Euchie and Lydia was going back and forth, right? So they picked up where we left off there. That scene, y'all, was hilarious to me. I could watch that scene over and over and over again because let me tell you, Lydia stormed out, okay? She over there at the wall crying. Milton and Euchie trying to have a conversation. Milton's trying to, not Milton. Uche's trying to say, like, you know what? I never say anything bad about her in the pod. You could see the last text I sent her. I told her, you know, I wish her the best in life. I never once doubted her to you in the pods. Like, I do wish y'all the best. And, you know, I was telling, you know, I was worried you would hurt her, but I'm worried, you know, what if she hurt you? And he trying to tell Milton all this stuff, okay? So, Lydia wasn't having that anymore, okay? She came over there and gathered her son Milton and got him away from his daddy, okay? She was like, no, Milton, come on. He's like, I want to talk to my friend. Let me talk to my friend. That's what Euchie, I don't know what Euchie was saying to Milton, but they want to talk to their friend. And she gathered him out of there, okay? She gathered him out of there. So, Milton and Lydia ran off wherever the heck they ran off to. So Euchie came and talked down to the group, right? And so he's trying to tell them everything going on about how him and Lydia already knew each other before the show and all that. So Johnny sitting up there, jaw dropped, like shocked, okay? And I guess Stacy didn't like how her face was looking because she was like, what's your face like that for? Fix your face. Like, she was saying stuff like that. And so then she was like, what are you talking about? I'm not looking at you. I'm shocked. My face is because I'm shocked. My face is because I'm shocked. And so, and then Izzy trying to be like, Stacy, like, chill out. And I was like, girl, what's the issue? But you know, nobody sees it for Johnny, okay? No, nobody see it for Johnny, and I barely see it for her too. So Euchie trying to explain the situation with Lydia and how she befriended Aaliyah and all this stuff, and how she ruined his chances with anyone in the pod. That was her goal, and he knew. He telling them how she knew he was coming there. Like either she's psychic or she already knew. She looked it up on the laptop, all that good stuff. So. And he just like, you know, kind of tearing Lydia down without tearing her down, you know. And so then the girls were like, Euchie, let me stop you right there. They wasn't having it. Stacy and Miriam and all the other girls whoever knows their names was like, stop right there. Lydia was a good friend of Aaliyah. When you was chewing her out about her cheating scandals, she was right there hugging her. When she was sliding down the wall, she was right there hugging her. She was there for her. They was wrapped up in a blanket together when they came and told us how y'all got that drama going on and how y'all already knew each other. And he's like, okay, but was that before or after they already knew? And da-da-da. And they were like, no, it was after, no. And so then Miriam tried to say something and pipe up. And Euchie was having it. He was like, be quiet, Miriam. You don't know nothing. You don't know nothing, Miriam. He was exiting her from the conversation, right? And Miriam's like, hold on, you not gonna tell me not to speak. And this voice, Miriam's accent came through strong. And I was like, who is that talking? And that was Miriam, y'all. That was Miriam. And I was like, Miriam, that's not how you said it in the past. So then she was like, no, I will say what I want to say. I'm sorry. I had to do the voice, y'all. Forgive me if it's offensive to anybody. I don't mean to be offensive, but that's how she was talking, okay? And she was going off, okay? Miriam was going off. Miriam was not having it. So Euchie and Miriam just going back and forth, right? And Euchie's like, no, Miriam, you ain't gonna say nothing to me. You're not about to say nothing to me. And Miriam's like, oh, I will say whatever I want to do. You know, I will go off on you. Like, no, I'm gonna say whatever I have to say. Like, she's like, I'm not Lydia and Leah. I'm not about to be crying for you. Like, I'm not intimidated by you. I'm not scared of you. So she going off of Euchie. Euchie was like, yeah, that's why. Like, do you live in Saudi Arabia or do you live in Houston? Do you got a job or you don't? Y'all, I was hollering. Now, Euchie is horrible. Don't get me wrong. I do not like Euchie. I do not stand for Euchie. No, he's horrible. But the way in which Euchie was clearing Miriam, because don't tell me, now I love you, Miriam, girl. You my girl. However, in the pods, you were sounding sketchy. Because in the pods, remember, every time Euchie asked Miriam a question, it was oh, but I kind of do this, but I kind of do that. Oh, I live in Saudi Arabia, so I live in Houston, but I'm about to move back. Like, she wasn't giving clear answers. So he kind of said what we was all thinking. So I was cracking up at that part, okay? So Miriam was going back and forth to him. So Euchie got up and walked away. Stacy was telling Miriam, like, girl, take a breath, like, chill out. And so, now Johnny and the one girl, I don't know her name, they kind of seemed like they was believing Euchie, right? They kind of seemed like they was on Euchie's side. And so, then I think at some point, Milton and Lydia came back from the bathroom. Where were they went, child? So then, Milton walked Lydia over to the girls and was like, can y'all please watch my mom? I gotta go over there to talk to my dad. So he went back over there to talk to Euchie. Euchie was like, I wish the best for y'all. I'm not trying to tell her down. You know, I could show you where people said she was watching my stories from their page and following me and all these people coming at me. And he's about to show them, and Milton was like, no, I'm good off of that. You know, he was saying she clearly knew I was coming in here and all this stuff. And he's like, he's saying stuff he'd been saying, just trying to get Milton to see it from his point of view. Milton basically said, you know what, my mom always taught me that everyone's perception is different. Like, your perception of the situation might be one way and someone else's might be another way, which is very, very true. Okay, I agree with that. So he said, he started talking about the Pythagorean theorem, and Euchie's an X and Lydia's a Y and he is the Z. And if 1x plus 2x equals 3x, what is Z? Like, he was going into equations and he lost me, okay? he lost me. I think he lost Euchie. So he was like, basically, we all on different planes, different levels, different bar graphs, and it is what it is, okay? So then I think him and Lydia, he went to talk to Lydia, and she was like, do you believe me? You love me, blah, blah, blah. He's like, yes, I love you. I believe you. I wouldn't be here. You know, I'm with you. Like, you don't need to react like that. You don't need to do all that. Like, don't, like, stop letting it bother you, basically. But, I mean, I can't blame her. I know Milton was trying to say, like, girl, chill out. But, Lydia is very, very, very emotional. She's very extra passionate, if we want to say that. But, I mean, in that situation, you kind of can't blame her. Although she kind of created her own little mess. But anywho, Euchie is horrible. Milton basically was like, let's go to these dinner plans, girl. Let's come on, mom. So anywho, then I think we saw Chris and Izzy sitting down to talk, right? And, well, no, when Lydia, let me back up. When Lydia was sitting down with the girls and they were like, no, Lydia, we got your back. And she was like, he's trying to come at me. The thing is, he doesn't want me to expose him because he cheated on me when we were dating and all that good stuff. And so Johnny's sitting there looking like, girl, I'm not buying it. Johnny's like, girl, look, we're hearing a lot of information from both sides. And, you know, Euchie sounds very convincing. So I don't know. And so the friend was like, I'll be looking at people like who I used to, you know, sleep with and all that and their stories. I don't get it. And so I was like, Johnny, we don't need you to pipe up. We need you to be quiet. Like, what are you talking? Johnny, please be quiet because you got your own sketchiness and we about to get into that. So anywho, after Milton had gathered Lydia out of there, took her to dinner. Then we seen Chris and Izzy sitting down. Chris was telling Izzy, I just didn't want you saying, you know, bad things to Johnny. Like, that's my only issue I had with you. And Izzy's like, oh, no, I didn't say nothing. I just told her about herself. But the thing is, Izzy basically ends up telling Chris, like, oh, yeah, she told me in the pod she loved me 4 times. She asked me to be with her several times. Like, she didn't tell you that. And Chris is looking shocked. And so Chris was just like, I don't want you telling her wrong information and all this stuff. Like, Chris, I hope Chris has watched the show back by now. I hope he watched the show back. Anywho, I hope he's no longer with Johnny because no. Johnny needs deep healing on a different level. Now, Stacy came over there and she's like, what y'all talking about? And they were like, oh, Johnny. And she's like, oh, And so Chris is like, I just don't want y'all to have no issues and da-da-da. And so Stacy was like, no, the thing is, like, she is this and she's that. And so they call that girl sketchy and all that stuff. So Johnny come over there with her sketchy self. And so they all getting into it. And Izzy's trying to tell Johnny, like, oh, yeah, you did ask me to be your boyfriend in the pod. You did say that. You did do this and that. She's like, no, I didn't. You're lying. And she told him to tell Chris, don't believe them. And Johnny told Stacy, like, oh, you were wrong in the pod because you didn't even tell me that Izzy was your number one like that and that you really liked him. And so Stacy's like, what are you talking about? Like, I didn't know you. I didn't owe you nothing. And Stacy's right to keep it close to your chest. Anytime you're in a situation like a dating show like that, you don't show everybody your hand. You keep it close to your chest. So Stacy played it right. Also, Johnny, you wasn't checking for Stacy. So girl, no. So Johnny over there trying to backpedal and pee-pop her way around it, offending Chris, all kind of stuff. Izzy going off on her again, calling her sketchy, saying she needs to get it together and all this stuff, how she's a liar and all that stuff. Stacy getting into it too. They talking about they just want to, you know, they want to be cool. They want to be cool. Stacy and Izzy eventually walked away, right? So, then I think later on we seen Euchie talking to Johnny and Chris and how, you know, Johnny's like, oh, I don't want people thinking the worst of me and all this stuff. But like, girl, you did these things. Like, we saw you. And I don't think it was right the way Izzy, I didn't like the energy Izzy did have for Johnny though. That's the thing that bothered me the most. Like, Izzy, you got way too much energy for Johnny. If you didn't choose her, if you don't want her, then don't talk to her. Like, I don't understand. Like, okay, the first time in the honeymoon, that was one thing, which was very uncalled for, in my opinion, as a man. I'm not saying a man can't address a woman or nothing like that, y'all. What I'm saying is, why did you need to do all that? Because most men, like real men, they wouldn't care, and they chose who they chose. He chose Stacy. He would have moved on. He ain't gonna be bothered by Johnny. He ain't gonna take the time to clear her and, oh, I feel so good, I told her off. He did that once already in honeymoon. Now he's doing it again. I was like, what are you getting from telling off Johnny? Like, what is your deal? Like, it's giving you still like her. That's what it's giving. Okay, so that was pretty much, I think, the end of that whole party scene. So when Stacy and Izzy, now we're going to specifically talk about them moving forward until we get to Milton and Lydia again. So Stacy and Izzy get back to the apartment, and Izzy telling Stacy once again, oh, I'm so glad, you know, I told Johnny about herself, you know, and he's like, well, I like the way you was going off on Johnny, and oh, that really that made me all spicy, and oh, that got me going, and oh, all this stuff. And I'm like, what? Like, you like to see her go off on another girl? Like, what? Like, what kind of... What? That is weird to me. That is weird. And she kind of was looking like, you know what? Like, I don't want to deal with that. I want to be in another space. Like, no, I'm not here for that. Stacy, like, I'm too good for that. So then Izzy's like, yeah, I'm just glad. And she was like, why are you so, like, shaky? Like, why are you so excited about it? Like, what is the thing? He's like, I'm just so glad, like, I didn't end up with that, and I chose you, and all this stuff. And she was like, okay, but I don't want to be affiliated with that, associated with that, because, like, that's like your ex, that's somebody you're dealing with, and you're trying to, like, put me in together with that. And so he's like, no, that's just some pod chick. I'm like, don't downplay Johnny that she was just a pod chick, because you was ready to be in love with that girl. Don't do that, Izzy, because you was ready for some Johnny. So she was like, okay, but I don't want it to be like that. Like, I want you to like me because of me, basically. And so she was also telling him, like, okay, you don't even do the things you said you're going to do in the pods. Like, you haven't cooked me dinner. I come home, I cook, I do all this stuff for you. You haven't done any of the things you said you're going to do. He talking about he be working and surviving and do all this stuff. And she was saying, like, okay, but what have you done for me lately? Basically is what Stacy was saying. And so then Izzy was getting upset once again. He basically stormed off. Next thing we know, we find Izzy in the closet crying, y'all. And she came in there like, what's wrong with you? Like, why are you crying? And he closing the door. He all on the floor in the closet, getting up off the floor. Izzy, get up off the floor and pick your dignity up too. Like, no. And in that moment, I said, Stacy, don't marry that man. Please don't marry that man. First of all, he got bad credit, and we all on the struggle right now, okay? So I'm not judging, but you came to the show looking for love, just like Stacy Daddy said, love don't fly first class, okay? That's not gonna get you first class, okay? So, and then he over here crying like she is the top dog in the relationship, in my opinion. But y'all let me know what y'all think about that in the comments. So then the next day, we do see Stacy. I guess I didn't know she was like a personal trainer or fitness instructor. I did not know that about her. I don't know why, I thought she did something else. Anywho, she was teaching like one of those spin classes. And so Izzy came and he was talking outside the car, and he was saying her, you know, they had to fight and all that. And he came and talked to her, and he's not giving up and he's not quitting. So he came to apologize and brought her gifts and had a plunger, something he engraved on it, and some other stuff, a picture, all this stuff. And, you know, they said they're going to stick together and get through it. Good for them. Did he pull up in a Hummer? Did I see that? I was like, did he rent that? I don't know. We do. I ain't trying to be his business. No, I'm just kidding. But anywho, so they made up. Okay, then we saw them go on a airplane date, because he was like, oh yeah, her dad said something about she asked for her to fly first class and nice dinner, so this is, I think, what he meant. So he took her to this museum with planes, and then they got to ride in one of those small planes, and then he had a dinner for her prepared, like a fancy dinner afterward. I was like, that's not quite what her daddy meant, but okay, Izzy, good for you. So this is nice. And she enjoyed it. And so they did dance, because they were talking about how their first dance is going to be. They're talking about, let's do an NSYNC song or Backstreet Boy song. I was like, oh, that's what the other people be doing. Okay. Because, you know, we got our R&B songs we like to do at our weddings. So I was wondering what they be doing, right? So then So then at some point we do see Izzy introduce Stacy to his mom. And so I don't know. I mean, I didn't really get nothing from that scene. She was just telling her Stacy that, marriage was serious, and she seemed to like Stacy. I just can't stop looking at her as mama sideways about the whole daddy situation, the Jehovah's Witness of it all, and the type of son she raised. Like, that's every time I look at the mama, I'm sorry. I know her son Izzy is an adult now, but I'm looking at her sideways about how did you raise this person to be the way he is. I really am. I'm sorry to say it. I'm sorry. Okay, so where did we leave off, y'all? Sorry, I had to keep stopping this video because the lady doing my Target order kept texting me about replacements. Child. Anywho, I'm trying to get through it. So, okay, so we talking about Izzy and Stacy, right? So, like I said, the mama not feeling it for her. Where the ex-husband? Izzy said her and ex-husband ain't together no more. Where is daddy? Where is real daddy at, Mom? That's what I'm asking. But I'm all in her business. So, anywho, let's see. The last thing we see with them before the wedding day is we see them packing. Y'all, they made a meme about his packing too. My friend sent it to me today on Instagram. The one that's getting married actually sent it to me. They said on the meme it said like she needed to run away from him based on how he packing, because the way he had all that stuff in that suitcase, it was not about to fit. So Stacy and him were silently packing their stuff. And I was like, oh, they didn't have another fight. What is it? And so I guess he lied about his credit cards. Like I said, I went to the gas station and she asked, does he have a credit card? And he said no. And she said, oh, you need to get one. Like, what about, you can get the rewards points. You can do all that. And so I guess he lied about why he didn't really have one, or didn't admit like why he really didn't have a credit card. I guess his credit score is down real bad. I don't know how bad. Like I said, we all going through it, but yeah, like you need to be honest about stuff. And so then again, he's feeling like he's not good enough, just like he said when he's crying in the closet. He feels like he's not good enough, and they talked it out. They're gonna be there for each other. They're gonna work it out, all that good stuff. I was like, girl, you better say no. All right, so let's get to Izzy and Stacy's wedding day. Okay, so we see them getting ready. Izzy said, they did have their little issue about the credit score thing, and he didn't know it would be a big deal, but he said Izzy feels like he is enough. Like he could provide for her just because he ain't got the fancy cars and the house and the credit and the job and the bank account. He still can provide her love. Okay, so we see him getting ready with his friends. His best man was cute. And so Izzy didn't know to say for his vows, so they helped him write a letter. I like the way they supported him with writing that letter. And so his best man delivered it to Stacy. Stacy was like, oh, hello, like, who was this? And I was like, who was this? Stacy was thinking like, this the man she really needed. He gave the energy that I think a man for Stacy would need to give. Like, Izzy, nah, she need like a bit more strength, okay? But she has a lot of strength herself. So, in my opinion, I could be wrong. I ain't no relationship expert, y'all. So, she's talking to her mom, and Izzy had wrote her that little letter. She said she wanted that because she wanted to speak to him and see him, like, for reassurance. And, she said the whole credit thing is a concern for her. And mom said, we all like him. He cool. He in the family. He with the homies. We not tripping on him. And so I like how the mom never dogged him. That's one thing I really appreciated about all of that scene, is that the mom never dogged him. So anyway, then, okay, let's get to the altar. I mean, they getting ready. They getting their hair did, nails done, everything did. Nothing to see there. So get to the altar. They clap for Izzy coming in. I was like, dang, they give him a lot. So Stacy came down the aisle with her dad, of course. Izzy said, I do. Stacy said, I don't right now. Like, I can't do it right now. I think it would be a disservice to both of us if I said I do right now. But basically, she still loved him. And they still kissed. And everybody cheered. And I was like, so y'all breaking up or not? So then she walked out, and Izzy was just standing there, and it was awkward. And then he's like, well, thank y'all for coming. And they cheered for him, and he walked out. And so Stacy feels like she made the right decision. Oh my gosh. And she felt relieved. I feel like she made the right decision as well. I already knew Izzy was going to say yes, because that was a come up for him. He'd be dumb to say no. But I was glad she said no. I was like, thank God she said no. Yeah, they could stay together, work on their relationship. Maybe he can get his life on a better track financially. and give it time, and maybe they could work out. I think they both need to do some kind of counseling and probably couples counseling as well. And they possibly could work out, but marriage, hell no. So I think she made the right decision. And so he's talking to his mom, and she's like, I'd rather you hurt now than hurt later, because he used to be crying when he gave his shots. My brother did too. And so then we see her talking to her mom. She's happy. Stacy cool, okay? She ain't tripping. And so then we see them talk to each other, and she's like, don't think I don't love you. I still love you. I think we just need time. We need time. And he's like, I'm very confused. And she's like, don't be confused by that. And then he was like, when is it ever going to be time for you? Because if I'm your person, like, and right now is it like, when is it ever going to be time? It's never going to be the right time for you. Probably not. Okay, probably not. So then we see Izzy later on talking about, like, I am enough, like Stacy, any man, she can get an older 40-year-old man, and why she's still single. This is why she's still single and 33 and hasn't found love. Look at the way she is. Like, it's not all about having money and fancy flights and dinners. I don't care about that. I don't care about the car I drive and the clothes I wear and where I eat and all that. I'm bringing you, love and support and all that. And I was like, said the person who broke, okay? Said the person who broke. Get on out of here, Izzy. Anyway, Stacy said, that at the end of the day, Izzy opened up a lot of emotions for her and helped her be able to trust again. And I think that probably was just the point of the relationship, right? My clothes are done in the dryer, y'all. Okay, so now let's talk about Milton and Lydia, right? So after that party where Euchie was going off on Lydia, and all that. So we did see Lydia and Milton having breakfast. She getting on him about, not cooking right and all this stuff. It's going to be mother-son for them all day, okay? We did see Milton introduce his family to Lydia. His family is very, very nice. I was trying to figure out the area in Houston they lived in. Houston is one of my homes away from homes. Y'all, I always go to Houston. And it looks like actually the new development of homes where my friend lives in Houston, but I wasn't sure. I got to ask her. I don't know if she watched the show though. Anywho, so his family seemed really nice. He definitely gets his hype from his dad. The sister wasn't checking for Lydia. She's like, why? Why are you doing this? Milton looked like, he's the baby of the family, and you could tell. And they're like, we don't see it for you. But the brother-in-law was like, well, yeah, we've been out. He say he trying to get married. I like the way the brother-in-law stepped in. And the brother-in-law and the dad really supported Milton, and I liked that. The mom and the sister was like, let's sit down and talk to Lydia. The mom was like, what's your last name again? She was like, okay, And so the sister said, yeah, she will have your credit score and all your business in 10 minutes. She gonna run a background check on you. And they're like, well, we'll do a 33-year-old with a 24-year-old. And so Lydia was saying, like, she's been through a lot of stuff, and he's the first man to really treat her right, treat her in the way that she deserves to be treated. I don't know, maybe. So, they were asking her about things that they've dealt with, and she said Milton do be leaving his stuff on the floor. They're like, is that a deal breaker? She said they can maybe work through it. She don't know. And so they were just asking her different questions, and the sister was like, I don't know, I'll see it. They said that Lydia's answers sound very like professional, rehearsed. They did. Lydia knows what to say. Okay. Lydia is very much fake it till you make it. Okay. And that's what she's giving for me. Okay. She's like, I'd rather just be with somebody, so I'm gonna just fake it till I make it with Milton. That's what it's giving. And so the mom and the sister were really buying it. We did see Milton meet up with the sister later on, and she was telling him like everything life is life and got a job, got the kids, got marriage, all the stuff. Like, what's making you want to get married? Like, I don't know. You never talked about this. I don't see it. She just was like, I really don't see it. I think it's because it's her little brother, and she's probably always seen him one way. And he's only 24. Like, I get the family's reservations. I totally do. He's really too young to be on the show. Lydia's gonna walk all over him. She's going to emotionally manipulate the hell out of Milton. And he better stand up for himself, is all I'm going to say. And even when he tries to stand up for himself, he's going to be played as the villain and Lydia the victim every time, which is going to suck. I wish he would say no. Anywho, It is what it is, though. So the dad was like, that's his decision. That's his decision. So when they were at the house, but like I said, the sister and him met up. She didn't really see it for him. So he said, he wouldn't go into a decision not thinking it through and all that. And so, Milton's very calculated. He thinks very analytically, like he said. So let's see. We also had seen them have like a discussion. I think they were in the bed, and I don't know if that's the part where he told her about, being less emotional and all that stuff, and they were hugging and stuff. And so then, I think it was the night after the party and stuff like that. So then we also, by the way, we saw everybody choose their tuxes and their dresses, but like, who cares? There wasn't nothing happening there. I was like, oh, Lydia, when she had her dress on, I was like, I felt something. I was like, should I feel good for Lydia? I don't know, but I was like, okay. Even on her wedding day, I was like, okay, Lydia, I'll be happy for you, girl. So then we did see Milton and Lydia go out for dinner at this place that had like rocks or something to look at, okay? So Lydia and Milton are at the restaurant having a nice dinner. Somehow, they're just talking about whatever. And somehow they got on topic of Lydia being too emotional. Milton feels like Lydia's too emotional. Like, situation with Euchie, like, she was giving it way too much. Like, if you're not checking for Euchie no more, like, don't be tripping. Like, he was like, if it was my situation with my ex, I wouldn't talk to them. I wouldn't get involved in like that. I was like, Milton, I get what you're saying, but you have not lived enough life. Milton, now Lydia do be overreacting. And she's a woman, and she's extra emotional. So I get what Milton's saying on the one hand, but I also get Lydia at the other hand, right? And so she was like, what are you telling me? Like, not to be emotional? What are you telling me? Like, not to be the way I am? And he was like, no, you be doing too much. Like, you gave it too much. And he was like, I was in a situation, you put me in a situation with the whole Euchie thing. I was like, ooh, one too much. And so she was like, oh, she got mad. She walked away from the table. She's like, oh, you telling me not to be myself? And he was like, I would just, if we have kids one day, like, I would want to teach them to handle things. Like, yeah, life is going to happen. Things are going to be hard. Like, you have to deal with it. Like, that's life. Now, I feel like this was a cultural difference too. And y'all let me know if y'all agree in the comments, because my people, our people, that's kind of how we're raised. Like, okay, things are going to happen in life and you just going to deal with it and you're going to move on. Like, and I don't think other cultures are taught that, so I don't know, maybe that could be it also, she just, and Lydia's just very, very reactional. She's very reactional. So, he felt like he said he can't say anything because he already knows it's going to be bad. He always feels like he's walking on eggshells. Like, he has to always watch the way he says things to her. And he does. And that's exactly what I meant he's going to be doing all the time. So we see them getting ready for their wedding days. He trying to write his vows. He couldn't find a pencil. He dumping stuff out from his backpack onto the floor. I was like, Lydia, come get your son. So they were like, whose man's is this? The white boy said that was hollering. So then Lydia's getting ready with her friends. It was a total opposite. It was a party when her friends came through, not like Stacy's family, child. So I love Lydia's hair straightened and curled like that. That was pretty, especially because all her color and texture. So she says she feels like Milton is the one because they was asking her if she ready. Milton and his dad talked, and he said, I know you will make the right decision for yourself, but he told him, it's going to be honeymoon stage for 2 years. Milton's like, 2 years? And he's like, yeah, you got to be able, I trust that you're going to make the right decision. I'm not going to tell you not to do it. It's just that you're young, but, you got to do what you got to do. That's right for you. And, you got to be willing to stick it out and put in the work and all that kind of stuff. He's like, I know you've seen me and your mom go through some things, and you got to be willing to go through some things. And so Milton started kind of having second thoughts, like, dang, everybody's kind of questioning this. Like, should I be questioning it? Like, I wasn't, like, having doubts, but everybody's, like, making it like I'm not thinking this through. Am I not thinking this through? And I was like, Milton, you're not thinking this through. So anyway, they getting ready. I thought Milton was going to get a haircut. I was hoping so. He was struggling to put his jacket on. I was like, not production making him look like... he ain't got it together. So, they get down to the altar, right? Because I think that's pretty much it for them. They get down to the altar. And, Lydia did have a heartfelt, seeing her mom is speaking Spanish. They get down to the altar. I wonder where's Lydia's dad? Because her mom walked her down the aisle. But anywho, Lydia said yes. Okay. Knew she would. And Milton hesitated, but he pretty much said I do. And then they kissed and they did everything out of order. They was like, what about the rings? They had to, they was getting ahead of themselves, getting out of order. I said, Milton, no. Because let me tell y'all what's going to happen. Besides her weaponizing every tear with him and manipulating him, if he tries to divorce her, she's going to take all that good engineering money, Milton. All of it. Matter of fact, I'm going to need you to break up with her ASAP so y'all can at least get an annulment, okay? Something, Milton, please. Milton, it's too soon. I need Milton to live life. And I feel bad because I know sometimes young people will be like, no, y'all need to wait, and they just feel like they're in love. But I don't feel like Milton and Lydia are love. I feel like it's mother and son, okay? But they're happy with each other. They do have a nice playful energy with each other. Now that's one thing I do like about them. Like I said, we only got 2 couples, y'all, so it is what it is. Then they were showing everybody's little recaps. Even what's her name, Taylor, saying how her and JP didn't work out, and JP said he needs to learn to open up to people. He would do better. I guess JP. Stacy's happy with the decision she made. Izzy, he feeling salty. He feeling some type of way. He ain't got his money right. Aaliyah said something, I don't really remember. Euchie said he wished he would have made a more of a welcoming environment for Aaliyah to communicate, and then he did. I'm like, at least he learned that lesson. Anyway, we're going to get down to the reunion. I'm pretty sure Euchie and Aaliyah will be on the reunion because that was a major part of the show. If I missed something, y'all let me know. But like I said, Love is Blind season 5, y'all, it's giving no couples, so which means it's giving nothing. But we did have that little drama. We had some drama, so I ain't gonna take that away from them. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And then we will talk the reunion Sunday. Also, if you check out Own's Ready to Love, they have their new spinoff show called Ready to Move. Comes on tonight, Friday night. So I will do that review as well. All right. Talk to y'all soon. Bye.